take a look at the Super Saiyan 3 head sculpt made by Red Bolt Studios. This is the Canon Super Saiyan 3 from Daima. This is RB003. This is what their boxes look like when they send them out to you. It's the same studio that teamed up with Beast Deities to make the Broly head sculpts. I'm not sure what else these guys make. Leave a comment below if you're familiar with RB or Red Bolt Studios and what they make, but I got mine off of 5ktoys.com. It was a pre-order, so after the total price, it was around 35 bucks. So this is what you'll get if you're able to order yours. It does have 2 clamshells. We have 4 different faceplates, 2 different pairs of hands, and then 2 key blast effects. So all the pictures and videos that I've seen online of this head sculpt, to me, it looks super accurate. Tamashii Nations has yet to reveal their Super Saiyan 3 adult Vegeta, so this is what we have so far. And as you can see, I have a bunch of Vegetas back here that we could try this head sculpt on, but this is your first key blast effect. I don't remember him making like a red or a pinkish blast effect like this in Daima, but this blast effect does look really good nonetheless. It has some white airbrush paint over the transparent plastic to make it look, or it makes it pop more, I think. So the material on this is the softer rubber plastic, or PVC, so hopefully it's not too heavy when you're putting it on your figure. For the next blast effect that he has is just a energy orb, and this looks nice also. It has like a pearly yellow finish to it, so not bad for blast effects so far. For the hands, just 2 different pairs of hands here, both left and right of him pointing with 2 fingers, and then both left and right for him to, you know, actually hold the blast effects here. So I'll go ahead and plug these in so this doesn't roll away, so we could try it on the figures later. But for both right and left, whichever you choose, and they plug in, they fit very snug also. And the material on these fingers and on the hand accessories are the PVC too, so we don't got to worry about those breaking. So finally, the head sculpt. And like I mentioned before, I think this head sculpt looks super accurate. I mean, look at that. The head sculpt itself, it doesn't feel very heavy or like too heavy in weight, so hopefully it doesn't weigh the figures down. But it is the PVC again, so you can bend it. It doesn't feel like brittle or anything like that. This is what the pegs look like in the inside. Not too much gap here either, at least for this first faceplate. So this is a static looking face, and I think the accuracy looks pretty good. I thought he looked like the eyes were too close together when I first seen it, but in hand, it doesn't look too bad. I think that looks really, really good, honestly, for the canon form of Vegeta. Since Tamashii hasn't revealed their adult version of a Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, this is what we have so far. So the static face looks good. For the next face, we have a teeth gritting face, and that looks really good also, to be honest. Most of the time, teeth gritting faces don't look good in my opinion, but this one actually looks okay. The line work and the detail, and even the mouth looks good, like from all angles, and I think that looks pretty sick. The next face is him smirking, looking off to the side, and that looks dope also. Holding one of those key blast effects. I think I might have him on my shelf with this faceplate on. Mine is kind of off with they painted a line like over the indentation where the mouth is, but that can be easily fixed. I can erase that and then draw the line back in where it's supposed to be. Hopefully when you guys get your copy, if you're able to order this one too, it doesn't have that minor QC issue. But this face looks really, really good. Really liking this head sculpt so far. And then for the last face, he's kind of like looking down, and that looks sick. Very very spot on to what Vegeta looked like in the Daima series. Red Bolt Studio did a good job. I'm looking at the gap here that we have, and it's not too much of a gap. We'll see what it looks like on the actual figure once we put it on, but the faceplates look good in my opinion so far. For these Vegetas that we have to try on, we'll start off with this Xeno Vegeta. And these pegs are obviously suited for the Beast Deities versions of the Vegetas, so it goes on very easily. So we'll see how this fits on the other 2.0s from SH Figuarts, but the articulation, it looks all the way down. Can look up slightly, only because this one has the armor wrapping around his neck, but it's not too bad. And then side to side tilt is good also. As far as the weight, it's not too heavy, so he can still stand. And with the head sculpt on Daima Vegeta with the canon version of Super Saiyan 3, I think that looks pretty sick. The difference is between canon Super Saiyan 3 and then what we all thought Super Saiyan 3 was going to look like for Vegeta. It honestly took a while for this version to grow on me, but I do like it now. But at the same time, I really like you know, the classic look for Super Saiyan 3 with the longer hair. But both of these head sculpts look good. This one came with this Daima Vegeta, and now we have the Daima version. So all the face plates are going to be swappable, but again, it won't really capture the look of Daima Vegeta because this one looks more of like the Daima Vegeta face. Hopefully this neck peg doesn't get stuck because I don't feel like doing all perfect. So it came out. Sometimes when you're swapping, like when the peg comes out, it gets all difficult to like put it on and take it off and things like that. So a good thing that came off easily. So here's the SH Figuarts Saiyan Armor Vegeta, and the peg hole is way too big for these 2.0s, but just to see what he would look like with Saiyan armor as a canon Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, and I think this looks okay. The neck on this Vegeta in particular is very skinny, but if you wanted to throw him on the shelf, like the face matches up with the body, and then the hair, I think it'll look interesting if you have him with this Saiyan armor Vegeta. So not bad there. You could try him on this the next Saiyan armor Vegeta. This is a power level 24,000 or 2400, and again the peg doesn't fit, but just to get an idea of what he'd look like, I think the neck is too long for this Vegeta. It'd be like a huge gap. You'd make like a lot of modifications just to get it to fit, but everybody's vision and style is different. But this is what he'd look like with this armor. Not bad. Next is SH Figuarts Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, or I think it's called Unwavering Power. And again, all these 2.0s have the same size neck peg, so it's not going to fit. But just to put it up with the armor, I think that looks tight. That looks pretty tight, honestly. With the musculature on this 2.0 Vegeta. The musculature on these Vegetas, are, you know, they look really good in my opinion. I wish it would stay on so we could see if he'd stand, but you're gonna have to mod that. Next is the SH Figuarts Superhero Broly Vegeta. Forgot the name. I think this one is called Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Vegeta. That looks pretty nice on that armor. Oh, that looks sick. Not bad at all. If you want to put him on your shelf with this Vegeta. The only Vegeta I don't have to try this on is the Superhero Vegeta, because I took that one and I made a custom out of it. So I will not be showing that. And this neck peg is getting stuck inside of this one, so I'm gonna have to just put him on the top. But here he is with I think that this gi would have been best suited for a Super Saiyan 3 at one point in time. A bunch of the pictures online show Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta with, you know, just his undershirt on, and I think that looks super dope. If you guys have this Vegeta in your collection, this one is the Kong Studios, I think it was the Ultra Ego Vegeta, but that looks pretty good. The skin tones match up well, and the face doesn't look too big. It's just annoying when the neck pegs come out with the head sculpt. It takes a lot to get them on and take them off. So here's the Beast Deities Vegeta 3.0. And it was actually made for this Vegeta, so we're not gonna have any issues with this Vegeta. He does stand. The head sculpt fits in place. The skin tones match, even though you only see his neck. There's not much gap in the back either, so for articulation, this head sculpt is able to look very far back now that he doesn't have that armor thing hindering from the Xeno Vegeta. And then side to side, and then looking down is pretty good. It is kind of like loose, so there is some weight there, but at least he can still stand with the head sculpt on, and that looks pretty sick. So this is the 3.0 Jade Rabbit. I really like this head sculpt, to be honest. Damn it, the neck peg is coming out. See, this is what I'm talking about right here. And it's not that big of a hassle to get them out of this peg hole, but a lot of the other figures that we have that have like a tighter peg hole, and I got to get the pliers out, and I got to do like all this stuff just to get the head off of the neck peg. So here's another Saiyan armor Vegeta. This is SH Figuarts Super Vegeta, the OG version 2.0. But again, with this body, like the musculature and things like that, I think it looks super dope. It's not exactly Daima, but it does look good with this head sculpt on. I think that looks pretty sick. So before we get to the Daima Vegeta, here is second to the last old armor Vegeta. And the skin tones don't match on this one. The skin tones are slightly off, and this neck is a little skinnier, but again, if you guys wanted to put him on your shelf with this, kind of get him in that angle, I think it'll look okay. So for me, I am gonna put him on this Daima Vegeta. I already have my neck peg conversion in place. I was planning on keeping this Super Saiyan God head sculpt on this Daima, but I really like this Super Saiyan 3 head sculpt. So look at that, that looks sick. This is exactly what he looks like in Daima. I was thinking that this was, or I was hoping this wasn't going to be too big for this Daima Vegeta. But since the other Beast Deities Vegeta sculpts didn't look too bad, I kind of figured that this one wouldn't look too bad either. And I think it doesn't look bad at all. Like, his hair is supposed to be big. The faceplate doesn't look like super huge on the body. And then now we can get our Super Saiyan 3 Daima Vegeta, and he can still, let's see if I can get him to stand. And the head sculpt does have some weight to it for the smaller Daima body, but if you get him like in an up angle like that, you could get him to stand. So I think this looks pretty sick. I'm definitely gonna post him on my shelf with this Daima body, but you guys can choose whichever one of these Vegetas that you feel is best suited on your shelf. We can see if these accessories work on this Daima Vegeta. And they do. Perfect. So this is the first blast effect here, and that looks good. The hand looks kind of big. The hand looks big, but it doesn't look like too bad. And then for this other one, it's because these were, I mean, it's made for the 3.0 Beast Deities Vegeta, but that version is too buff to be canon. Like, the canon body is supposed to be skinny like this SH Figuarts Daima Vegeta. So you can peg in the accessories to Daima Vegeta, and they definitely hold up. His hands do look, you know, kind of bigger. It looks bigger, but it doesn't look too bad. So we can all get creative with those however we like, and then we can choose whichever Vegeta we feel looks best with this head sculpt. I think he looks best on this Daima Vegeta from SH Figuarts. So again, this is Red Bolt Studio Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta RB003. I got mine from 5ktoys.com. I could leave a link in the description below as to where I got mine from. I honestly feel like it's worth it. 35 bucks, and you get 2 key blast effects, 4 face plates, and 2 pairs of hands. It's definitely worth 35 bucks. The accuracy on this head sculpt looks amazing in my opinion. It definitely looks like Daima Vegeta. So if you feel like this video was helpful, you can go and hit that like button. If you want to keep an eye out for my next videos to come, go ahead and subscribe. Until then, thank you for watching.